Welcome you all to another chapter of Blender tutorial. So now we are on our chapter number 16, and here I'll be showing you guys by changing the color of an object in Blender. Okay, so I'll be showing you guys how you will be able to select the color zone, what are the different type of colors, okay, and different ways to actually see that and also apply those colors over here. So let's not waste time and let's get started. So over here, as you guys can see, now I am here in the and now over here you guys can see basically all of these objects, and now I will select this particular cube which I do have by default over here. And from here, now if you do want to change the color of this particular cube, from here what you need to do is here you guys can see a lot of options. Okay, so in that case, now come here and select this material properties. Okay, so once you click on the material properties over here on to the left hand side under the surface option, here you guys can see an option called the base color. Okay, so you guys can just click right over here, and in coloring you do basically have three mode. Okay, so the first one is hex over here, and also here you do have an eyedropper tool. Okay, suppose you do have one particular color in one object beside, you guys can use that eyedropper tool to actually get that particular color from there and drop it in your selected object as well. Okay, so this is about hex, and if you do have any kind of color code which you have already created, like you do have a color palette which you want to use, you guys can just copy that particular number and you guys can use that. Okay, so you guys can come here and put on the code right over here, and now afterwards you do have the HSV. Okay, so the full form of this HSV is hue saturation value over here. Okay, so now again if you come right over here, if you want to increase the hue, here you guys can see you guys will be able to change the hue and the saturation value over here. And now if you want to basically move this one, and here you guys can see there is a small dot over here in my color palette, and I am trying to move this thing up and trying to give this one up the color. Okay, so the more I take this icon towards the outer side, here you guys can see now the saturation over here is 1. Okay, but if I try to get this here in the exact center, okay, so let's come here, let's just select this. Okay, let's come here, and here once I'm over here in the center, the saturation will decrease a lot. Okay, so you guys can come here, maybe select the saturation over here. If you want to change the hue, you guys can change the hue as well. And if you want to change up the value, you guys can come here and change the alpha as well. Okay, so after that, here you do have the metallic option as well. Like if you want to make it kind of metallic, you guys can come here and you guys can just increase the number as well. And also here you do have the alpha option, and here also you do have the normal option. But now let's come here again to the surface option. Let's click over this. Let's come here to the RGB. And now over here also you guys can see I do have this particular default color palette over here. And if I want to manipulate, I can come here and I can just change the color accordingly. Okay. So now if I do want to increase the red, I can increase the red. And if I want to increase the blue, I can basically increase the blue quite like this. Okay. So once you're done with this particular part, now from here you guys can come, and now you are not able to see that particular color is being applied, all because right over here on top, now this one is in the solid view. Okay, so here are viewpoint, like shading viewpoints. Okay, so this one will be by default, which is over here. Okay, and now if you want to see the colors, okay, you guys can come here, otherwise click this particular icon or this icon right over here. So this is basically the random view, and over here also you guys are able to see the color. So you guys can move this thing up, and if you want to change the shading, I have showed you guys how you will be able to change the shading. And now if you want to increase the metallic version, you guys can come here and make it kind of deep using the metallic option. Okay, so you guys can come here, and if you do want to add some roughness, you guys can come here and basically add some roughness over here. as well. Okay, so this is how you guys will be able to use this one. Let's select it and let's delete, and again let's click on shift A, and now from mesh let's create a ecosphere. Okay, so over here I do have created an ecosphere, and the same way what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right over here in the material properties, and now I am not able to see that from where I will actually change the color. Okay, because in this one here in the properties panel I don't have the same options. So for that, we don't have to worry. What we need to do is we need to first click here on the new option. And after that, here you guys can see that is already being added. Okay, so now you guys can come here the same way to the base color option. And now let's take a green color, quite like this. And now let's come here and let's increase the metallic option. And over here now, let's increase the roughness over here as well. Okay, so now this is how it actually looks. You guys can see it here on my screen. Okay, so over here, I hope you guys have understood this particular class on how you will be able to add color to your object. Okay, so now from here, if you want to see it in a camera view, over here you guys can actually click on this particular toggle option, and you guys will be able to view your object here in this camera. Okay, if you do want to add more than one camera, you guys will also be able to do that, which I had already showed you in the last class. And now let me also show you that how you will be able to save your working file. So for that, what you need to do is come here to the file option, and from file you guys can go to save as, and afterwards a page kind of will appear like this. And now from here you guys can basically change its name. Okay, so let me name this one as color. Okay, and from here I will click on to the save as option, and it will be saved over here in my system. So afterwards, if I want to work on this same file, I can basically work on the same file itself. So yeah, I hope to see you all in the next chapter where we'll be learning about camera and rendering. So take care everyone, hope to see you all in the next chapter.